Hello students, good morning to all of you. Students, uh, from today we learn how the quantities are measured which are present around us or in the nature. So before we learn about the measure the length, small distances or the bigger distances, first we understood how we measure the quantities. So basically first we use or understood about the concept of order of magnitude. Okay, for example, uh, in our around there are many objects which are smaller in size, and when we go at the macroscopic form, so the object which are very big in size. And we if we discussed about the macrocosm objects or things like planet, star, galaxy, etc., these are very widely in size. Okay, so uh, these all can be represented in the order of 10. The order of magnitude not gives the exact value of the size of the things, but it will give us the nearest value of the measurement of the thing or size of the things or anything which we want to measure. For example, as you know, the size of earth is 6400 kilometer. So we can express it as 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meters. This is how we represent the quantity in the order of magnitude of exponent of 10. Okay, and it will gives the nearest or finally we can see that this is of order of 10 to the power 7. Here we have use a thing like if any number if any number is less than 5, it is treated as 1, treated as 1. Okay, and second, if any number is 5 or more than 5 or in between 5 to 10, it is treated as 10. That is why the order of the size of earth is 10 to the power 6, but finally I have written here 10 to the power 7. Okay, because 6.4 is more than 5, that it will be treated as 10, so it will become 10 to the power 7. So it is not actually 10 to the power 7, but it is near to it is not actually 6400, but 7000 is near to 6400 in kilometers. Okay, so this is how we represent the size in the order of magnitude. So simple. What is order of magnitude? So you can write that the order of magnitude of a quantity as the power of 10. Okay, as the power of 10, which gives us the value nearest to the actual value of the quantity. Okay. Now we understood about the measurement of length. Next we have measurement of length. Okay. So students, the as we know, the thing around us is widely in size. For example, if we think about the macrocosm objects like star, galaxy, planets, etc., etc., these are very big in size. Okay, which means these are basically called large world or macrocosm. The large world or macrocosm. Okay, and another, if we think about the microcosm thing, like a small world. Okay, as you learn in the previous classes that macroscopic and microscopic, here we learn in the macrocosm and microcosm. Now these are the object related in uh, near to us, like molecules, uh, atoms, electron, proton, and the thing around us which are very small in size. These are some uh, measurement of length. Okay, it is observed that the minimum length we measured is for proton, radius of proton is in order of 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Okay, which is, as you know, the size of atom. And the largest thing which we measured is size of universe. Okay, size of universe, which is in order of 10 to the power 26 meter. So when we add these two, we get the range of measurement of length. Range of measurement of length of length is in order of 10 to the power 26 plus is 41 meter. So we can measure the length up to 41 meter. Okay, so you can understood about the how small and big quantities are measured in the exponent of the power of 10. Okay, now we understood about the first instrument which we used for the measure and how the length is measured. So length is measured basically in two ways. One is direct method, and another is indirect method. Okay, so in direct method we are using here some instrument like meter scale, then after we have a vernier caliper, vernier caliper calipers, then we have the screw gauge, and and spherometer. Okay, these are some instruments which we use to measure the length directly. Here I will just tell you the minimum or maximum measuring unit of the two. So you can measure here millimeter to meter with the help of a meter scale. So you can, when you compare this it, so you can measure it about 10 to the power minus 3 meter to 10 to the power 2 meter. This is the in order of 10. 10 to the power 3 for the millimeter and 10 to the power 2 for the meter. So this is the range, the thing measured with the help of the meter scale. Okay. Next, on the behalf of vernier caliper, you can measure the minimum distance in 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Okay, and for the screw gauge and vernier caliper, you can measure the small distances up to 10 to the power minus 5 meter. This is the range of the different instrument which you use. Here I will just explain to you about the types of scales used in the three. Okay, vernier caliper have two scales, scale. One is meter scale, or we can say main scale, and another is vernier scale. Okay, these are the two scales which are used to measure the small distances in the vernier caliper. And screw gauge again have two scales, here one is a linear scale, and another is a circular scale. We discuss it after, it is also in 11th class practical. And the spherometer, here is a meter scale and another is a circular scale. Again same as the screw gauge. It is also a linear scale also. It is linear also, meter or linear. Okay, so these are the things. Now the least count is 0.01 mm, 01 meter, 1 minute. Yes, mm, and for this 0.001 mm. This is least count. Both this least count is also 0.001 mm. These are the least count and the kind of measurement. Okay, now if the things below than 10 to the power minus 5 meter and more than 10 to the power 2 meter, then we cannot measure the thing by the using of these instrument. So we need to find an indirect method to get the distances or length of the things. So now we understood about the indirect method. Here we have indirect method for measuring the large distances. Many methods are there to measuring the largest distance, in which the first one is the parallax method. Parallax method. Second is sound reflection. Sound reflection, as you learn in your class echo. Okay, related to echo, the sound waves sended after hit an obstacle return back, and we measure the things with the help of the distance is equal to s into uh, s into t. Here the distance is equal to 2d, so you can easily calculate that s into t upon 2. This is how we measure the distance with the help of the reflection of sound. These are used in the many different uh, instrument like sonar, in that the ultrasonic sound are sent by the device sonar, and in the submerged water the ultrasonic sound is heated the obstacle, whatever it is, the enemy submarine or etc., or any living organism. So after reflecting that, we can calculate the distance. As you know, the speed of light, speed of sound in the liquid is about 320 kilometer. So it will be calculated by this method of reflection of the echo. And the next which we have here, the trigonometric method. Trigonometric method. Trigonometric method, basically you learn in your 10th class in height and distance. Height and distance. So this method you have to you have learned in your 10th class. We don't learn this here. We understood about this. So this is for the large distances. Now the second indirect method to measuring the length is uh, measure the molecule size of molecule. Okay, we just learn about the two methods here, parallax method and the size of molecule, which is in your syllabus. So let we start. First note it. Okay students, now the parallax method. First, uh, the method is used to measure large distances like distance between stars, planets, uh, distance between earth and moon, okay, etc. That means the distance between the heavenly bodies. Okay, now we understood about the parallax method. Here uh, it is, parallax is basically the name given to the two positions of the object which are seen diametrically opposite to each other or very far away from each other. So parallax is the name given to the change in the position of an object with respect to the background when the object is seen from two different positions. These two different positions are very far away from us and basically diametrically opposite to each other. Okay, therefore the distance between the two positions is called the basis. Just I will explain to you. Suppose we need to the distance of point A from uh, from the segment. Okay, from this segment PQ. So we need to measure directly like that. With the help of meter scale you can measure this, but because it is a heavenly object like any particular star, so we can not able to measure it is directly. Okay, so what we do here, we join the, or we see from point P to the object A and we observe there is an angle is formed. Let's say this angle is theta 1. Okay, and then we see after some time the object from the point Q and we observe here this is an angle theta 2. Finally we get the total angle will become between the two positions is theta, where theta is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, so this line segment is used as basis of the angle formed between the two positions with the object whose distance is measured from the particular this thing. Here this angle theta is very small angle. So if this is very small angle, therefore just I will explain to you the two positions. Okay, so you can easily find here that, okay, wait, I will show you. Now you can easily find here the two lines at point P and point Q here. So if these two lines are very far away from the segment PQ, so this distance is negligible as comparison to the distance from P to A. Here PA is equal to PQ because diametrically opposite points, so these are equal to each other. Okay, so in compare to PA and PQ, 1 minute, PA and QA, PQ is very small than PA or AQ. Okay, so as ignoring the distance between these, we find the actual distance or nearest distance between the object A and this line segment or the thing. Okay, so this is actually basis. This basis is measured as an arc. Okay, and this is as a radius. So we can use here the concept of angle is equal to arc upon radius. Clear? Therefore, the value of angle theta, which is theta, is equal to arc, which we have basis, upon this is radius. So here theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to basis is the length PQ upon radius, or we can say this radius is equal to L. L is for distance. Okay, now we can measure this L with the help of PQ. PQ is taken as 2 AU, where AU is astronomical unit, and upon the angle theta 1 plus theta 2. So this is how we measure the distance of far object from any other objects. Okay, or if we see the distance of any star from the earth. So now we use here how to measure the distances. Basically this concept is used. Okay. Okay, now student, we understood how the distance of any star measured from the earth. Suppose this is equator of earth at point A and B. Okay, this is earth. Where A and B two diametrically opposite points, and as you know, if we move from A to anti-clockwise direction and reached on the periphery to the point B, so this half circle complete in 6 months. Okay, 6 months. It is very clear to all of you now. When we go around A to B with x, A x B, by this semi-major axis. Okay, therefore we covered a distance equal to, let's say the distance AB is equal to 2 AU, which means in 6 months we covered a distance about 2 astronomical unit. Therefore, let's say there is a star n, or okay, and there is any other star, let's say S. Okay, here is also S and here is also S, because it is a very far away star. Okay, so as your previous knowledge, an object which is very far away from us, the light coming from the object is nearly parallel to each other. Now we use here the same concept. The light coming from S is parallel to each other at every distance. Clear to all of you? Now, I just join these distances. One from here to the periphery. Okay, now you can see easily there are 3 lines which are parallel to each other, because of the star S is very far away from this N and the Earth. Clear? So now what we can do here, we join here the 2 positions. One is N to A, and another is N to B. Clear to all of you? Now just see here, we can now easily measure the angle between, let's say this is S1 and this is S2. So we can easily measure the angle between A S1 and AN. Let's say this angle is equal to theta 1. Okay, and similarly we can easily measure the angle between B S2 and BN, and it is measured as theta 2. Okay, now if we draw a parallel line to the base of the earth, or we say equator to the earth, so we can easily measure this angle is equal to theta 2 and this angle is equal to theta 1. Clear? Now the total angle between the point A and B is theta. Okay, now by measuring these two angles, by assuming a far star like that, we can easily measure the angle between the 2 points from the earth, which is diametrically opposite to each other, as theta. Okay, now as I explained you earlier, that if we get this theta, So we can use here the result angle equal to arc upon radius, that is arc is AB, which is basis, whose basis, so which is used to measure this angle theta. Okay, and this is radius. Radius is, let's say, length from A to N or B to N. Okay, it is equal to L, so you can easily measure it. Theta, which is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2, is AB upon L. So we need to calculate the distance L, which is equal to AB is 2 astronomical unit and upon theta, where theta is parallatic angle. Okay, 2 AU upon parallatic angle. This is how you can measure the two situations or the length between the star. Now here, if this is O, therefore OA equal 1 minute, AN equal to BN is nearly equal to ON. Okay, that means the length L is equal to ON. This is how we can use to measure the large distance by using the parallax method. Okay, here you can just assume, suppose an object on Earth at point A at any instant of time, okay, from a star N with a distance L, okay, and now suppose a far star from N, from where the light coming parallel to each other, and the angle measured from AS1 and this is equal to theta 1. Similarly, for the second situation, after 6 months, when we cover about 2 astronomical unit, this measured, and then after use the concept. Thank you.